All right, guys, so by this time you've now mastered the race and chases, the matadors, the 6-beat north, and the dragon roll. What we're gonna get into now is a series of movements that once this door opens for you is just some of the best feeling that you can have with a rope. Makes you feel like a freaking athlete, like a ninja. And the first thing we're gonna cover inside of this series for our sneaks is our underhand sneak. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what that looks like. I'm gonna show you why it's called the sneak, then we're just gonna break it down into some simple steps. There are tons of YouTube videos out there on how to do this exercise, all the drills that you can do, and just the deep dives that you can take into it. I'm gonna show you the 2 or 3 things that have helped me the most in creating more speed and more efficiency with this movement, and then I'll let you rip from there. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Okay, so I'm sneaking the rope behind my back. Okay, here's what it looks like from the back. Okay, so the underhand sneak, I can do it on both sides. I can do it on one side. I can do it alternating. Like, you can do it with so many different ways here. But what I want to teach you in this video is the actual sneak component and how to get yourself into the next repetition. Okay, so it might seem really complicated. How do I get this rope from in front of me to behind me to in front of me again without having to jump over it? Okay, I want you to flip your world upside down. And instead of thinking that I jump over the rope, I have to now think that the rope jumps over me. Okay, I don't go over the rope goes over me. If you can conceptualize that and realize that that's what you're trying to do, this all becomes a lot easier. But the way I'm going to teach this to you is I'm going to break it down into 2 or 3 steps. Okay, start with the rope in front of you. Your feet are going to be square. And we're going to take the principles that we learned from the dragon roll and apply it here, which is the timing of everything. Okay, so as I'm flipping this rope over my head, I'm going to take my left hand behind my back and hit down a little bit into the ground. And what you saw that did is that created some momentum for the rope. Okay, bring the rope back in front of you. As I'm bringing the rope over my head, I'm going to hit down like I'm throwing a behind the back pass with my left hand. Over, down. Okay? I don't wait till the rope hits the ground. I am doing that down hit with the momentum of the rope to carry me and carry the momentum of the rope up so that I can bring it back over my head with my front hand. Okay? So here we go. We're going to do that about 4 more times. Over, down, and through. Cool. You cannot practice that part enough. The more momentum you can create here, the less work you're gonna feel like you have to do with this front hand, and therefore the smoother it's gonna be because you don't have to move this arm a whole lot to make things happen. Over, boom. Okay? And if you hit yourself in the face like I just did, that means you're creating the momentum that you wanna create. This right hand, just bring it in towards your body just a little bit. Okay? Over and through. Okay? Last one, over and through. Okay, so this right hand's gonna come slightly across you, your left hand's gonna go behind. It's as if they're both coming towards your center line. Now, the only difference between that part of the exercise and carrying it into the rest of the motion is if the front hand flips the rope or if it just stays still. If it just stays still, then it comes across your body like that. If you try to flip it like that, then the rope will go over your head. Okay, mine got caught. I'm in my basement here, so the ceiling's kind of low, so my rope is not as tall as it might normally be. I'm gonna have to lift my arm up a little bit so that y'all can see me really exaggerate the range of motion, but it's the exact same process. Over, flip, boom. Okay, so the front arm is guiding the momentum that the back arm creates. All right. It's like the rails in a bowling alley, right? I throw the ball, but the rails guide where the ball goes. Rails, the throw, okay? Here we go. Flip it over your head, throw it, and then lift it up over the front side. Do that again. Over, and through. Over and through. Over and through. Over and flip. Okay, all that momentum makes the rope fairly weightless, and that front hand can flip it over. Now, to continue it into the three-part movement that we're going to really learn here, as it's coming over your head, you have to then carry it back into an underhand pattern. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to flip it over our head, carry it into the front side again, and then just go into a regular race and chase that looks like this. All right, so you'll have done one sneak at that point. Over, flip, turn, boom. And now we're just doing this. Okay, we did one. Okay, now that you've done one sneak, it's time to carry the pattern and make it more cyclical so you can continue to sneak, 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 sneak. Okay, we're gonna do all our sneaks the exact same way as we did the first. So flip it over your head, sweep it through, carry it, 1, 2. After that 2 hit, right? So I did my first race, my second chase. After I do that hit, this hand has to start coming behind my back again so that I can do the around the world hit. All right, so that's what this is gonna look like here. So we're gonna start from the beginning. Flip it over, pass it, 1, 2, around the back, boom. 2, around the back, good. 1, around the back, 1, 2, around the back. So as the rope is hitting on your right side in this situation, that's a cue for you to start to bring your left hand around to do the throw behind you, okay? So start with the rope in front of you again, flip it over, down, around, 2, around, 1, throw, flip, flip, throw, flip, boom, okay? So the process remains the same. I have the flip over, the throw behind, the carry, 1, 2. After that 2, it's like I'm teleporting into the next around the back move, and I just carry myself through that flow. Okay, guys, that exact same process applies to the other side. So if instead of throwing the rope around my back with my left arm, I'm gonna throw it around the back with my right arm, carry it over with my left. Okay guys, so now that you've done the sneak on both sides, I want you to practice doing it on one side and the other side 50, 100 times. You really can't practice that too much, especially if you have range of motion problems with your shoulder, or if you have a history of shoulder injuries. Maybe you have one side that feels way tighter or less connected or just less fluid than the other. Practice that side until you are blue in the face, and I promise you, not only will your shoulder feel better, but you'll also feel more connected and more fluid through your core. So that's gonna be your underhand sneak, unilateral. And now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna work on the underhand sneak on both sides at the same time. All right, peace.